Canto 5. Summary. Having returned to the darkness, our pilgrim comes to the edge of eternal torment. Here is Minos, the legendary king of Crete, whom the historical Virgil likewise uses to preside over the underworld in the Aeneid, Book 6. He stands on the edge, taunting the damned who stand before him, ready to be sentenced. Minos hears their full confession almost as if he can taste their transgression. After all, he is a connoisseur of sin. His sentence is made clear by how many times he wraps his tail around his body, each wrap representing a subsequent circle of hell, e.g. 4 wraps equals the 4th circle. Virgil leads the pilgrim past Minos into the 2nd circle where the lustful are punished. In death, they are thrashed and blown about in a hurricane, as they were blown about by their appetites in life. It is truly dark, and the noise of shrieks and wailings surrounds Dante and Virgil. However, it is not so dark that the pilgrim cannot distinguish various shades, as all the great and tragic lovers of myth and history are cast before him: Semiramis, Dido, Cleopatra, Helen, Achilles, Paris, and Tristan, to name a few. Suddenly, a pair of intertwined lovers piques the interest of the pilgrim, and he asks to speak to them. They are Francesca and Paolo, the famous pair of adulterous lovers. Francesca, who was married to Paolo's brother, tells their story, and, overcome with pity, Dante again swoons and falls as one dead. Canto 5. Lustful. So I descended from the 1st circle down to the next, which rounds a smaller space, where so much more pain provokes lamenting. Minos stands there, horrible and snarling. At the entrance he weighs each transgression, passing judgment with the clutch of his tail. I say that when the evil-born soul comes before him and confesses everything, that connoisseur of each sin of each soul cinches its long tail so many times round as circled below the circle he wishes to send each soul. Always before him stands a multitude, going each in turn to their own judgment. They confess, they hear, they are then thrown down. "O you who come to this dolorous house," said Minos to me when he saw me there, breaking off from his terrible office. "Consider how you come and whom you trust. Don't be deceived by this spacious entrance." My leader replied, "Why are you shouting? Interfere not with his fated journey. This has been willed in that place where one wills what one is able to do. Ask no more." Now the miserable notes did begin to make themselves known, and now did I come to that place where much wailing assailed me. I came to a place where all light was mute, where it was howling like seas in a storm, wasted and whipped by tempestuous winds. That hellish hurricane, never resting, whips the spirits with its furious rush. Turning and striking, it torments each one. When they arrive in front of the ruin, there begins shrieking, mourning, deep lament. There they blaspheme, cursing the divine might. I understood then that to such torments the sinners of the flesh were there condemned, those who subjected their reason to lust. And as the starlings come, borne by their wings in the cold season, to flocks large and full, so the wicked spirits are thrashed about by the tempest here and there, up and down, never once comforted by any hope, not of rest, certainly not of less pain. And as the cranes go by, singing their lays, making themselves a long line in the sky, so I saw coming, bearing many woes, shades whisked by the unceasing whirling winds. About these I asked, "Master, who are these, berated and beaten by the black air?" "The first of those concerning which you wish to know some report," he then said to me, "was the Empress of many languages. So broken by her vicious lechery, she legalized lust, condoning all vice to take away the blame from what she did. She is Semiramis, of whom one reads she succeeded Nino and was his wife. She ruled the lands the Sultan now governs." The next is she who killed herself for love, forgetting the ashes of Sychaeus. Beyond her Cleopatra the lustful. See Helen, for whose sake such long seasons of wickedness turned. See great Achilles, who fought to the final moment in love. See Paris, Tristan, and thousands more shades he showed me, naming and pointing to each, love having parted them all from our life. And hearing my teacher name the ancients, both the ladies and cavaliers alike, pity conquered me. I was almost lost. I began, "Poet, I would willingly speak to those two who are tossed together, who seem so lightly borne by the whirlwind." He answered, "You will see when they come near, then plead with them, for the sake of the love that thrashes them about, and they will come." As soon as the wind brought them close, I said, "O you troubled souls, come and speak with us, if another forbids you not to come." As morning doves called by desire, with wings lifted and steady, come across the air to their sweet nests, by their will delivered, so too these left that crowd where Dido was, and came to us across that evil air. Such power had my affectionate cry. O gracious and kind soul, visiting here across the dark, irredeemable air, to see us who darkened the world with blood. Were the King of the universe a friend, surely we would pray to him for your peace, since you pity us in our perverse pain. That which pleases you to hear and to speak, we also wish to hear and speak to you, since, as it happens, the wind is silent. The city where I was born sits upon the shore of the sea, where the Po descends to find peace with all its tributaries. Love, catching fire in the most noble heart, gripped this one by that beautiful aspect ripped from me, by what means offends me still. Love, who pardons no one loved for loving, so strongly gripped me with delight in him, that as you see it has not let me go. Love drew us to one death. Cana below waits for the one that extinguished our lives. These were the words that she offered to us. When I understood those suffering souls, I bent my face to the ground, held it down till the poet said, "What are you thinking?" When I answered, I said, "O misery, how many sweet thoughts and how much desire delivered them to this wretched station." Then I turned again to them, and I said, beginning, "Francesca, your punishment brings me, wretched and pious, to weeping. But tell me, at the time of those sweet sighs, how was it love made both of you aware that you should know the dubious desires?" She answered me, "There is no greater pain than to be reminded of happy times in misery, and this your teacher knows. But if you are filled with so much longing to know the earliest root of our love, I will recount, as one who weeps and speaks. We were reading one day of Lancelot for delight, how love overpowered him. We were alone and without suspicion. But the reading kept bringing together our eyes and drained our faces of color. Just one moment conquered us completely. When we read that the longed-for laugh was kissed, and by so great a lover, this one, who will never be separated from me, kissed me on the mouth, trembling all over. Galeotto was the book, he wrote it. From that day onward we read there no more. While the one spirit was speaking these things, the other was weeping, and I fainted for pity, as if I had passed away, and I fell just as a dead body falls.